The hosts out to prove a point perhaps after that Derby game last Thursday, but were behind after 33 minutes through Shane Duggan's exquisite strike. City have struggled late on in games recently, and unfortunately for them, something similar here. 3 minutes to go, the ball into the area, flicked on by Paul O'Connor. John Dunleavy, adjudged to have handled. Penalty to the hosts. Declan O'Brien steps up to convert and makes no mistake. He's missed a few recently, but this strike brings Drogh's unbeaten run to 5. Solid point for Cork, but once again they're left to ponder on what might have been.
So here's confirmation of how the Premier Division table looks after those results. Sligo increasing their lead at the top, still with that 100% record, and the pressure is already on the chasing pack. But as you can see, Derry City currently second on 13 points. Now, that table will change tonight, though, as 2 matches are currently being played. The latest scores are Shelburne 0, Bohemians 1, and the game between UCD and Sligo Rovers, that's kicking off just as we speak. So report just yet. And there are 2 fixtures on Tuesday night. Limerick play Shamrock Rovers at Thomond Park, while St Pat's will hopefully get it on at Richmond Park against Dundalk. Well, Mick, many thanks for coming down to join us. I know you had to rush away from the game. I'm sure, like Trevor Crowley, you're getting a little fed up with draws, though. But 2 draws over the Easter weekend. How pleased are you with that?
Well, I'm obviously disappointed. I felt on Thursday night against Dundalk, we were well in control of the whole game. I felt up to the 75th minute. I mean, a couple of minutes of madness, and gave Dundalk 2 goals from set pieces, which is disappointing. Picking a free kick, okay, you'll accept the penalty, but a free kick was deflected, as I saw on screen tonight. So obviously I'll have to give Gabriel Sava a phone call on that one rather than blame him for it.
Normally he's excellent, isn't he?
He isn't there. He isn't there. No, and obviously it's only I saw on screen tonight that it was deflected, so I let him away with that one. But we did play reasonably well on the night. Likewise today, I think the first attack Cork had, they scored against us. We dominated. I'd say we probably had about 80% of possession today, but in the final third we've been doing nothing in games. So that from that point of view, it's very disappointing. Yeah,
after the great success of last year, Mick, I mean, are the expectations higher now around Drogheda for the club to do well? I mean, trying to better like the runners-up position in the league, that's going to be a tall order this season, isn't it?
Well, you've only one place to go, which is hard.
That's true.
And you know, expectation obviously then comes pressure.
Yeah.
And I brought in a few new faces, same as Ian Barraclough did, and I just find it, as I said, we're playing reasonably well up to the last third. We're just not scoring the goals, and each game we have to come from behind, which is disappointing. Except obviously for Thursday night against Dundalk, where we did 2-goal lead, and I felt maybe for 5 minutes we took our foot off the pedal and allowed Dundalk to dominate for that 5 minutes. Where do you get a free kick and a penalty? Fair play to them. But I feel, as you said yourself, the expectation is high after what we achieved last year. But they're going to have to cope with it here to move on. Yeah,
and how are the players that you brought in, how are they settling in now?
Well, they're settling in very well. Like Graham Rusk came in, he was injured, so it's taken him a while to catch up. Paul O'Connor is probably one of the best midfield players in the country, but I think when you leave, and not being disparaging to UCD, there's different expectations at different clubs, and after what we achieved last year, I think he probably feels a bit under pressure. Like Gary O'Neill got badly injured against Derry in the Setanta Cup. He's just come back today. Derry Prendergast came back today as well. So, no, it's taking a bit longer probably to settle in than we envisaged. But we're playing so many games, it's hard to say have a week's training and get your formation right. Like, we're playing 2 games a week since the season started, and it's difficult that way, where you can't, you know, rely more on training to get your team shape proper.
Yeah, just on the bigger picture, Mick, like we've seen this season Limerick come into the league and look fairly strong. Do you think that the league is actually stronger throughout this season rather than last season? Because we had an interview recently with Michael O'Neill and Pat Fenlon, and they suggested that maybe the standards is a little lower from when they were around the league. What do you think?
No, I wouldn't agree that the standard is lower. I'd say maybe the better players in the club now have gone to different clubs because of finances. That the best players are not all, you know, where a few years ago it was Shelburne, and then it was Bohemians. But the players are more spread out this year, and obviously if somebody can stop Sligo on the run they're on, I think it'll be a very competitive season. And what people must realise that UCD bet them last year, so hopefully UCD can do us all a favour tonight and even get a draw, like to stop Sligo's gallop. But no, I think it's going to be a very competitive season. I think the games that have been shown already this year, that it is very even. As I said, all we need to do is someone to stop Sligo. It'll be a very competitive season. Yeah,
it sounds like you were doing a lot of bellowing from the sideline this afternoon, Mick, were you? The voice is almost gone there.
just a small bit. Like when you have 80% possession and only a goal from a penalty, it's very worrying. So, like, I was urging the troops on, probably a bit too much.
Yeah, well, another draw, I'm sure more 3-point results will be coming your way, Mick. In the meantime, we've got to reflect on that Derry City result. Another win for Derry, and we were talking about them